RotoGrinders Today. I'm Jordan Cooper, a.k.a. BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter. And it's Thursday, December 12th, and we'll be taking a look at some props and pick them for Week 15 in the NFL coming up tonight, Sunday, Monday, everything that you'll need in order to get your 6 pick, your 5 picks, your underdogs, your prize picks, your prop bets, your everything, and bringing in Grant Neefer from scoresandodds.com. Go over there if you want all of his stuff, especially in the Discord. And if not, definitely just hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. Give me those thummy thumbs. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the notification bell to know when we go live. Grant, we got no bye weeks, so that I like no bye weeks because that means more stuff to bet on, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely love this time of year. Lots of real interesting games, lots of fun games, lots of divisional games coming up soon. But yeah, no bye weeks. I mean, I don't dabble anymore really in NBA or MLB DFS too much, but I still love me some NFL DFS. So this is the time of year where I actually get back into it and still gamble a ton, but I've already done all the research. So just wake up a few hours earlier on Sunday and set those lineups. So no bye week means more games to play, more guys to play, and yeah, more bets to make. So it's a beautiful time of year. Can't wait for the Christmas slate. I didn't even realize that there was going to be 3 games on Christmas, and boy, that's going to be fun.
Well, hopefully Christmas comes early for us this week. I bring up the prize picks board. I know, Grant, in Colorado, you don't play prize picks, but in a lot of other states where sports books are not regulated and legal yet, prize picks is available. So we'll be talking about, regular props as well as building our 6-pick card. I have Prize Picks Arena here, the peer-to-peer game here in Kentucky. But let's start with maybe some, I don't know, instead of going like passing, rushing, receiving, I mean, we could just go across it. We don't have to have like a specific, like we need a passing one, we need a rushing one, we need a receiving one. We just want six props that are Grant approved as well as Blitz approved to put in our Prize Picks card. And we were talking before the show about it's probably going to be popular in DFS also, but the Panthers are actually favored in a game in the NFL in 2024, and that's because they're facing the Cowboys at home. No Jonathan Brooks. He's injured again. The Blitz has Chuba Hubbard's rushing attempts at nearly 25. Are we grabbing Hubbard props this week?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm all over him. Yeah, and shout out to Cardi. He wrote up Hubbard rush attempts the other day, and I look at it. I'm like, wait, that's the line with Brooks with a torn ACL. So I immediately went in there and maxed out everything on Hubbard from 18.5 rushing attempts all the way up to 25. Now, in this spot, if you want, we can take Hubbard rush attempts over here on Prize Picks, but it's sitting at 18.5 pretty much everywhere. Prize Picks 19. And yes, that's a small difference, especially when there's this much of an edge. But if you want, I think the better option over on Prize Picks is going to be go with over 81.5 rushing yards. I mean, if he's going to get 20 some odd attempts, if he's going to get 20 attempts, most likely he's going to hit this over. I mean, the Dallas defense has been just not good this year. Just bad. Near the bottom of the league. I think they're ranked 29th in DVOA. I'm fine with either of them. He's going to get the volume. They rely on him heavily. He's going to play potentially 100% of snaps in the spot without Brooks. Like, I think after Brooks went out last week, he got 100% of the snaps, and he had 97% snap rate. So I'm fine with either his attempts or his rushing yards. I'm even fine with his receiving yards, but that's less EV than the rushing ones. So I'm fine with any of them, but they're all far too low. And I have him at 25 plus rush attempts, which is pretty close to the median on the blitz, and it's plus 480 right now. So I am just all over Chuba overs.
Well, I'll look here, and on rush attempts across the books, the best line right now, I mean, it's not even available on FanDuel yet. Over 18.5 is minus 130 at Bet365 for the rush attempts. And the rushing yards, best line available is over 81.5 at minus 110. But FanDuel has put up their line at 85.5, minus 114. So I'm suspecting, because I see BetMGM has 81.5 at minus 135. Caesars has 81.5 at minus 117. DraftKings has 81.5 at minus 120. I would suspect by Sunday morning that this number ends up closer to the FanDuel number. So I actually think that Prize Picks, there's actually probably some value still here, that Prize Picks closes closer to 85.5, 86.5. So I'm on board with you with the rushing yards. I don't think the rush attempts are necessarily going to move all that. Maybe it moves to 19.5. But the 19,
it'll move to 19. Yeah, it'll move to 19.5. I mean, it was minus 105 over 18.5 yesterday, and it's already moved to minus 135 everywhere except for Caesar still has it. You got to look into little pro tip. Occasionally, if you're going to bet something, look into the alt lines. So Hubbard, I don't even think it might be at 18.5 is their normal line, and then their 19 plus is actually better. I had that the other night with Brunson. His line was 24.5 points. Over 24.5 was like minus 125. You look at 25 plus, and it's minus 115. So occasionally you can find those little discrepancies where the books just haven't fully adjusted or there's a flaw in their system. But yeah, I mean, it's going to – I think it'll move to 19.5. At 19, if you guys would rather go with that, still value on that, still a lot of value on that. But rushing yards, I think, is a little bit more value considering the volume's going to be there. He's been very good this year, and the matchup is great. So if he averages less than 4.5 yards an attempt, I'd be surprised.
Just to answer a question from chat from C. Thomas, any updates on the Prize Pick extension? They're working on it. That's all I know. Feel free to email support at rotogrinders.com. All I know is that I've seen our internal Slack, someone mentioning that they are working on it, because obviously our extensions are only, when they change the coding of their site, it kind of breaks some stuff. So I guess they are indeed, they know that it doesn't work, and they are working on it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, Chuba Hubbard stood out easily here. Another rushing prop that seems very high in the blitz is for the Sunday night game, and Josh Jacobs. I don't know if right now his number is 75.5. Are you down? I mean, it's a high number as it is. Are you interested in any Josh Jacobs props or would you prefer any other rushing props?
I mean, I'm fine with Jacobs. I actually already bet Jacobs. The problem is with him, Seattle's defense has been way, way better in recent weeks, and they're still easier to attack on the ground. I mean, the main thing with Jacobs is the volume has been absolutely fantastic for him. I think he's had 18 plus rush attempts in each of the last 4 games. I mean, this should be a close game. The Packers should continue to feed Jacobs in this spot. I'm fine with taking that over if you want to. Like I said, I already bet it. What's the line over on Prize Picks? It looks
Prize Picks is only 73.5, and the best line available in market is BetMGM 75.5 minus 110. So
I see it's at 73.5 minus 117, but yeah, I mean, marginal difference. Yeah, it's definitely moving in that direction quite a bit. So I'm fine with taking Jacobs if you want to.
Okay. Is there what stuff on the board? I'm looking at the highest ones in the blitz. Is there any other props? We don't have to do rushing yards. It could be anything. I'm just looking on my prop screen and seeing what the highest ones are.
Yeah, the next one I want to look at, which I think the blitz is also an agreement because the blitz is smart. Jameis, and I'm checking pass attempts and pass completions here. I'm checking what the line is over on Prize Picks. It looks like they're slightly higher. It's at 34.5 at most sites for attempts, but 35
21 pass
which is marginal
completions.
considering.
Right. On BetMGM, it's 21.5 at -105. And passing yards, I'm going to go over here. Where's passing yards? Passing yards. There you go. Passing yards, Jameis Winston. Over 236.5 -115 on BetMGM. The Blitz has him at 258. That wouldn't be nearly as good as the pass completions would be.
Yeah, I would rather go completions or attempts. I'm fine with either of them. I mean, Winston is just slinging the ball. I think the Browns have the highest pass rate in the league going up against the Chiefs. The Chiefs' rush defense has been really good this season. Their pass defense has been good too. But they'll do a little bit of bend, don't break. Like, the volume is going to be fantastic for Winston this week. Like, absolutely great. He's had 40-plus pass attempts in every single game this season that he started outside of the snow game, which obviously was a snow game. So more likely to keep the ball on the ground, but they're passing at like a 66% clip, I want to say, this season. And with Winston, it's been even higher, likely trailing here. We can go completions. We can go attempts. I'd rather bet on known volume than passing yards because there's a little bit of more volatility there. We know the volume is going to be good. And yes, obviously Winston could just decide, F it, Judy's down there somewhere, and go with a lot of long bombs, and that will shorten the drives. But Winston's going to be Winston, and I just absolutely love his overs on both pass attempts and pass completions. And I feel like the pass attempts might be a little bit worse than pass completions, but I'm fine with either.
Yeah, the Blitz has him at a mean of 24.3 completions, which makes the best number 21.5 -105 on BetMGM. I have a 31.64% edge. So, I mean, these are obviously things that I already have on the sports books as it is. But 21, I prefer the pass completions to the passing yards as well. Anything else you want to add to the card? We need three more.
I've got plenty of things. Just trying to figure out what.
But remember, we don't want correlated. We don't want correlated plays in here because they ding us too much for it. So basically, anything that involves Browns receptions or receiving, where we ain't put it on this card.
Yeah, no, because I was going to do Ford over rushing yards, but that's same game. We'll get 6 different games, so people have stuff to root for in different games. Let's go look at Caleb Williams passing yards. So and it's Monday night game, so you can sweat it out for the Monday night game. He's been better since Eberflus. Well, not much since Eberflus has been gone. Since Waldron's been gone, he's been slinging the ball. He's been doing well. I mean, he obviously has one of the best receiving cores in the NFL, but he's been doing quicker passes, like playing more to his game, being a little bit safer. He's hit the over at 214.5, 3 out of the last 4 games. Obviously, last week didn't, going up against a very, very tough San Francisco pass defense. And the Vikings are a tough pass defense. Like, that's absolutely true. But we talked about this, I think, almost every week I've been on this show with you. They are a massive pass funnel. They are forcing opponents to throw at the highest clip in the league. I think it's 64.6%. Like, their run defense is so good, people just don't run against them. They pass. And going up against a team like Minnesota, going to blitz heavy, try to get the ball out quick. Prize Picks is right in line with the market, maybe slightly lower. But I like this over all over the spot. It was at 209.5 yesterday. Got it there. I hit it again at 214.5 today. So still like it at these odds. Caleb Williams is probably going to have 35 pass attempts in this spot. What is his passing attempts line at?
Well, Prize Picks doesn't have that up. I'm not sure. I mean, this is the Monday night game, so a lot of these props are not even up. Only the major ones are. The Blitz has his mean at 253 yards, so I'm perfectly fine with 214.5. You could also get it at Bet365, 214.5 -110. And some of the other books, like DraftKings has 215.5 minus 115. Caesars has 216.5 minus 129. So definitely don't take it there. So yeah, I mean, I'm expecting this. I mean, this looks like, I mean, when FanDuel has a number up, I'm expecting this maybe to close by, by Monday night. This may be a 222.5 or something like that. And I think we'll be able to get a bunch of yards here on Prize Picks as some closing line value. I'm definitely on board with Caleb Williams. I mean, I think the receiving props for the Bears are fine also. But the problem with the Bears is that sometimes you just don't, between the three main receivers, you don't know where. Sometimes it's a Keenan Allen game. Sometimes it's a Rome Odunze game. Sometimes it's a DJ Moore game. I think that Caleb Williams is, assuming that the Bears don't completely crap the bed. I think he's gonna drop back 40 times, and I don't know how he doesn't get over 200 yards passing, even if they're they lose by 3 touchdowns.
No. So I mean, it's again, pretty much it's an auto bet for me every single week over pass yards, over pass attempts going up against the Vikings. And Williams has been a guy that I've been hammering his overs ever since Waldron's left, because Waldron was absolutely terrible. So yeah, I'm all aboard that. Let's see, looking at some other bets here. Let's go with rushing attempts.
There's 2 Monday night games. What do you think of the I know he's a blitz darling. But Jakobi Meyers. It's the Raiders against Atlanta. How much do we ding the Raiders game when Desmond Ridder is the quarterback versus Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew? Is Desmond Ridder that much worse than AOC?
I don't know if Ridder is that much worse or worse at all than AOC or Minshew. The problem with that is I don't know what connections he's going to have with Myers. That's a big thing with wide receivers is, I mean, we've seen it so many times in the past with so many different quarterbacks and wide receivers. It's a lot about connection. And I mean, Myers is a good wide receiver. He's an absolute volume monster. He should get the volume here going up against a bad Atlanta team. I haven't bet the over on his receiving yards yet. I'm probably going to. But I'm fine with taking that if you want to, just because Jakobi Meyers has been, since Adams left, he's been just the entirety of it's been him, and it's been him and Bowers the entire time. That's this offense. That's this pass game offense. And they're bad. It's being played in a dome, likely to be trailing. And I mean, Myers should get 10 plus targets in the spot. The problem is the unknown of how much of a connection Ridder is going to have with Myers. And that's the real problem.
How much of the connection Ridder's going to have with anyone? I mean, it's going to be ugly.
That's a good point. He could just throw the ball to Bowers 25 times. I mean,
he could throw the ball to the Falcons 25 times.
He could throw the ball to the Falcons. There's a lot of unknowns there, but I'm entirely fine with taking Myers overs.
I mean, the thing is that I'm looking at some receiving props, and they're nowhere near as good as some of these rushing the props that we already have on the board. I mean, some of them are just very high volatile situations, like with low yardage, as far as how many receiving yards is Tyler Lockett and Brandon Cooks, the guys that are in the 20s. Or you have Van Jefferson. I know the blitz is way under on Van. I'm not way under, but under 23.5. It's these are very high volatile props that I don't mind betting on the sports books, but typically on sites like Prize Picks, I tend to side more with the guys that more events will happen type of thing, right? Yeah. I want the more normally distributed outcomes when I'm taking 6 of them rather than does the second tight end get 8.5 yards over or under on his 2 targets? Those types of bets. So I don't know. I'm gonna say that Ridder can't be all that bad. That even just Myers could fall into over 60.5 receiving yards. The blitz has him at 85. That may be a little much. But it's still, even if you put him at like 70, 75, over 59.5 minus 110 and bet 365, and over 60.5 minus 117 at Caesars still shows as a positive value. So I'm okay unless you have a receiving prop that is worthwhile.
I mean, I don't see one at the moment.
I mean, that there are plenty that are. Let me be clear: there are plenty that are worthwhile, but not like amazingly amazing. We have to take it.
Yeah, I've got nothing that I absolutely love. Like the other ones I've given out, Winston, Williams, I love both of them. Hubbard, I love all of them. But I have value on several other receiving props, but nothing like the blitz shows over on Meyers. So we'll just roll with that one. Let's look at a rushing attempts prop. Rushing attempts, you can find a lot of value on it. I know we took Hubbard rushing yards, and the attempt is good. But I want to look at David Montgomery. Let's see what his price. So Prize Picks has him at 14.5. The entire market's at 14.5 with heavier juice on the under. And I'm also on the under, even at this heavier juice on, like, I'd still bet at DraftKings. I'd still bet at Caesars. I'd still take it at minus 125 at MGM. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, like it's a split backfield, but game script has a huge role in that. And Gibbs, if this game is severely in hand, he's not going to get a ton of work. Well, if this game is getting a little bit, like, if they're down, it's going to be Gibbs. If they're up, it's going to be more Montgomery. If they're up a lot, it's going to be way more Montgomery. If they're down a lot, it's going to be way more Gibbs. And I don't expect the Lions to lose this game. I think the Lions are the better team. But still, like, the chances of the Lions trailing in this spot are a lot better than they've been any of the last, 8 weeks. This is the toughest matchup they had. So
this has been Grant. This is potentially the Super Bowl matchup.
It very well could be. It's the most likely Super Bowl matchup. So
now the Chiefs will find a way to get in, Grant. The Chiefs will be there. They'll figure out a way to get for some odd reason get there.
I know, it's infuriating. Like, my favorite thing is looking at the what if the one-score games went the opposite direction standings.
Right. The Chiefs would have they may have the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah, I think they'd be 11, 2 and 12. They'd have 2 wins. They have had 2 wins by over a touchdown, or maybe it's 1 win by over the touchdown, and their one loss against the Bills, I think, was by a touchdown. So every other win has been by less than 1 score. Like, they have won in the most Mickey Mouse ways I've ever seen. It's absolutely incredible how lucky they've gotten. And this isn't just a one-year thing. This is an every-year thing. So there is something to say about Mahomes being good under pressure and Reed being a great coach. Like, when you have a great coach and a great quarterback, those 1-win games are going to go, or 1-score games are going to go your way more often than they're not, but not at this clip. Like, you cannot expect a missed 25-yard field goal or a blocked field goal on a regular basis. Like, at best, at least this year, they should have 3 more losses. Like, absolutely should have 3 more losses, if not more. What's going on?
So David Montgomery under 14.5 minus 120, bet 365. The blitz has him as a mean of 11.1 rushes, and I'm assuming it goes with that. That reasoning is that this is a much more competitive game, and it's much more likely that, as far as the lower rushing volume and game scripts, where Gibbs is more useful than Montgomery. Now, Montgomery could obviously, in DFS or something like that, go out, go 10 for 48 and score 2 touchdowns. I mean, that type of thing. You could still catch a ball out of the backfield. But, yeah, I don't think this is the type of game where it's the end of the third quarter, and David Montgomery's running the ball 8 more times because the Lions are up by 2+ touchdowns.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, betting on volume based on game script. And again, it's unlikely that they're going to be up 3 touchdowns. It could happen. It absolutely could happen. Lions can destroy any team at all. But realistically, is that the most likely outcome? No. And even in that outcome, like even with the Lions blowing them out, there's also the chance that they blow them out so much that Montgomery and Gibbs aren't even in the game later on.
Okay, so we do have our 6 pick in. I put it with my own money, $25. Arena play. We got Chuba Hubbard, more than 81.5 rushing yards. Josh Jacobs, more than 73.5 rushing yards. Jameis Winston, more than 21 pass completions. Caleb Williams, more than 214.5 passing yards. Jakobi Meyers, more than 16.5 receiving yards. And David Montgomery, less than 14.5 rush attempts. We also have a game tonight. We're not going to look at prize picks necessarily for tonight, but we got the Rams and the 49ers. You got a couple of if we were going to make an SGP, a 3-leg SGP, you get that promo. You get that, $10 promo, right? Maybe I could find. Let's do it. I'll do it for realsy reels, right? Most of the time on these shows, let me log into my DraftKings account, right? Because I get the best promos from DraftKings. So we're going to do a promo in DraftKings. I don't get anything on I don't get many things from many sites. But DraftKings, because I play too much DFS there, they still actually give me. So let's see what promos are available. Okay, we got an SGP boost. So let's do that. Right? I think it's pretty healthy. I get $100, 33% profit boost. And it needs to be minimum required legs of 4 legs. Okay? So I'm gonna opt in and we're gonna build this for tonight. Right? I'm going to go.
Do they allow passing attempts or pass completions in their SPGs?
SGPs, pass attempts, yes. And pass completions, yeah.
All right. I mean, the one main bet I have in this game is Stafford over 32.5 passing attempts or over 21.5 passing completions. So let's see where DraftKings is with the rest of the market and that. See if it's moved. So Stafford is at 33.5 now for pass attempts, which is
it's
fine.
22.5 plus 105.
It's still like it. Yeah.
And then
so I mean, it's a full pass attempt above, but you're getting that positive juice. He's got Puka and he's got Cup to throw to. Let's throw that in there.
Let's look at receiving yard. I mean, the blitz has it low. I mean, the blitz has as the Rams, more leaning towards the unders than the overs.
Yeah,
Puka,
I mean,
Cooper Kupp. I don't know. I don't know if you still want to do it. I mean, truthfully, I don't see that much. I don't see that much value tonight.
No, I don't see a ton of like I've got a show later with action and I'm struggling to find some good bets. I mean, one bet that I'm looking at, and this is just still ugly, is Parkinson under 8.5, 9.5 receiving yards.
That's not a nice bet to sweat.
That's not fun. Well, it can be fun. It can be really fun. But I mean, he's like the snap rate for tight ends is all over the place. Like all over the place with the Rams. And Parkinson, I think, has had more than one target in one of the last 6 games. Like he's been phased out of this lineup quite a bit, and they're just full on timeshare between the 3 tight ends. And I mean, yes, he's hit the over at this, I think, in 3 out of the last 4 games, maybe all 4 of the last 4 games. But it's off of one target. So he doesn't catch that ball. He doesn't hit. He just happened to catch those balls every single time. And yes, they're designing plays specifically for him. or one or two plays specifically to pass the ball to him because he's kind of forgotten about, and Puka and Cup are getting doubled, or they're focusing on them. But it's ugly. This is it's going to be a fun game, but it's ugly to bet on. And yeah, all the values kind of on the unders, just because Puka's line is so heavily inflated. I mean, if you want, I don't mind Ricky Pearsall over 1.5 receptions. I think it's like plus 105.
I mean, that doesn't even show there be that great of a value on the blitz. I mean, really, the blitz doesn't have much for this game, right? I mean, the blitz. I mean, even on the DraftKings lines. I mean, I got to use the promo on something, right? We're getting a 33% profit boost, so I'm okay. I'm gonna do this. I rarely do this, right? Because I'm looking at the blitz projections. There's really not much that I see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hands off the wheel. I'm going to say, Grant, make me an SGP that has a 33%, whatever. I don't care what the blitz says. I'm going with Grant. I'm putting $100 in your steadfast. If you want me to take Matthew Stafford's unders and whatever, just tell me what to do.
Yeah, let's. I'm trying to make sure that it's not too heavily juiced from the correlation. But let's go with Matt Stafford over 22.5 passing completions.
Okay, that's plus 105. Okay. What else are we putting with it?
I
don't mind to go along with this. The blitz has it as a slight value. The under on Kyron Williams rushing yards.
Yeah, we can take that. I don't mind that at all, especially if we're going over completions. I just don't know how much it's going to take off for juice.
Okay, what
else? Let's go with Parkinson under receiving yards, under 8.5.
Receiving. Okay, let's see. Parkinson, receiving yards under 8.5. So basically, I hope he doesn't catch any passes. Because this is going to be negatively correlated to the pass completions, right?
Yeah, so it might give you a little extra juice there.
Right, plus 650. Do we want anything else?
That's honestly not terrible. That's actually pretty. Is that before or after the?
No, this is before. We need
one more?
A fourth one. We need a fourth one because the promo only applies to a minimum 4 legs.
All right, let me just figure this out real quick. What is it? What's the line going to be if you take the Niners -3?
Oh, so just the game, the winning game. Niners -3 on the spread is plus 102.
Yeah,
makes it plus 1,000 before the boost.
All right, that's not great because
plus 1330.
Yeah, take out the Niners. I don't like the extra juice, but let's go with Pearsall over 1.5 receptions.
Pearsall over 1.5 receptions. Just letting it dictate. Let's see. Pearsall,
he's right above Parkinson.
Yeah, there we go. Minus 120 over 1.5.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's not the best line out there, but
right. Plus 1,300 before the boost.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's beautiful.
Plus 1,729 with the boost.
Love it.
So we're good with this?
We're good with this.
Okay, there. Grant approved. It's Grant approved. $100 in your hands, in your trusty hand. There you go.
If it wins, then you have to do me a favor. Are you a fan of Taco Bell at all?
Yes. I will send you a $10 Taco Bell gift card.
I'll take that. But I was going to say you have to go buy yourself a caramel apple and panada from Taco Bell. Absolutely love that item.
A caramel apple. I mean, I didn't know they had stuff like that at Taco Bell.
So they had it back in like the mid 2000s all the way until like 2016. And then they took it away from us. But now they brought it back for a short period of time. And it's one of my favorite items ever.
Caramel. It's an empanada.
Yeah.
Okay. The caramel apple. Okay. This is okay. I could eat this. If that's the
Yeah,
deal, if this win, I don't need to win the bet in order to go get this. I think this is fine. It's like one of those apple pie things. You can host this apple pie type of things.
Yeah, and you're a sharp guy. Do you have the Taco Bell app?
Yeah, of course. And I could just order and pick it up.
Good, smart man. Yeah, no, the online exclusive deals are great. Like a cheese gordita crunch is like $5, but if you get the box, you get that. You get a taco, you get cinnamon twist, and a drink for $6, which is just phenomenal deal. Everyone's talking about how fast food's overpriced now, and it largely is. But you can, if you have the app, you can get those deals like pretty much the same price point as they were back when fast food was quote unquote cheap.
Right. I mean, a lot of times late at night, if I'm coming home from playing poker, it's 2 a.m. I just go on the McDonald's app and it's like, it's do you want a 50-cent double cheeseburger and $1.49 fries? I'm like, yeah, sure, give it to me. It's like plus the tax, it's like $3.23, and you just go up to the drive-thru and it's ready. It's like, wow, okay, that was pretty cheap. Get a 10-piece chicken nuggets for like $3, and it's like, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I think they have a promo running for $1 right now. Yeah, I mean, biggest way to save money.
The thing is, you have to order in the app.
Yep.
They go to the drive-thru, you give them your number, and they say pull around, and that's it. And you're good.
Yeah. The prices at fast food places are literally just a tax on lazy people.
Who's the one to talk? You barely leave your house.
That's true, but I will also go out of my way to save 10 cents on gas. Like, I'm lazy, but also I absolutely thrive on getting a good deal. Absolutely thrive on it.
Well, hopefully the SGP that we just put together is a good enough deal. Grant, what stuff you got going on this week over at Scores and Odds?
Scores and Odds, turd downs, as I like to call it, will be out tomorrow. I mean, touchdowns haven't been great. Everything else has been great, but touchdowns been rough sledding recently. But yeah, got Scores and Odds stuff. I'll be on Action Island over on the Action Network, so go tune into that later on. We'll be making an SPG for Thursday Night Football, maybe not DraftKings specific. And then, go. If you want just all my bets, literally I just straight up throw them into the Discord. All my bets, everything I'm betting, into the Discord. So if you want all my bets, go sign up for Parlay Science. Like, if they win, that means I'm winning. If they lose, that means I'm losing. I have money on all those bets that I can possibly get down. Like, I max out every single bet in there, and I've done fairly well for myself over the last 4 years.
Well, check that out and hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Give me those thumbs, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to know when we go live. Tomorrow I'll be on with Bobby, I think, if he'll show up. I mean, last week we got a replacement, but tomorrow should be Bobby to talk about GPP strategy for Week 15 on NFL for DraftKings. So tune in then for that, because I'm always here for you on weekdays, talking about all things you're thinking about in daily fantasy, props, and pick on RotoGrinders Today.